as I understand it, college is higher education. That's how I understood it. Right now, I understand it as a business. It can be a tool. It can be a platform, depending on who you are, what you use it for. It can be a multitude of things. But the most important thing I've learned is that it's literally what you make it. Regardless of what you've been told, regardless of what the people who come before you have experienced in those settings, it's literally what you make it. When I was in school, they always just would talk about how it's not as easy as high school and we just needed to get it together. They never really told us anything about it except that we should go. It would put us in a better place, a better position to get employment. It's always mostly for me just been perceived as a symbol of status more so than a ticket like it was for our parents. Back then, they could just get a bachelor's and be good, but by the time I got through, they were talking, oh, you at least need a master's to separate yourself. So, I don't know. Everything I've been taught about has kind of been mixed. It's mostly just been, get this because you're gonna need it, get this because you should get this because we all have it. It hasn't ever really been anything besides that for me. I've literally been told since I was at elementary school that I was going. I wasn't asked, I was told that I was going. So I never really thought of anything else until I decided to go. I went to Frostburg and I did not do good. Not because I'm not intelligent, but I didn't know what I was doing and I was already depressed well before I got there. Then I decided to go to BCCC so I could just go to school, stay in class, stay motivated, and then transfer back. But then Frostburg wanted me to pay out of pocket when they already had me paying scholarships. So I was like, nah. So I took some more classes at BCCC. Then I went to Morgan State, and I didn't finish there either because I realized I really don't like school. It has nothing to do with learning. It has nothing to do with my major. I don't like school. I love to learn. But I guess I wasn't getting what I needed, and I wasn't going for the right reasons. Probably if I didn't have to go, I might not have gone. But I've just been told for so long that I had to or that I was, that was all I knew. Yeah, I didn't go back because I realized it wasn't for me. Like, no matter how hard I would try, no matter how strongly I would start the semester, it just would not stick. Like midterms, by the time midterms came, I was already checked out. I was burnt out. Again, like I was really depressed, and I didn't know that part of it was because I was going to school, and I knew I didn't want to go in my spirit. But I would start off really good. I would be turning my assignments. I would study, but then I would realize when I went to the library, I would be there for 4 hours reading the same 2 sentences. And I'm very well read. I can read anything I want I can sit and read for 8 hours if it's really something I want to read about, but I just could not get past that material. I was bored. If it wasn't a new topic, I could just peruse the chapter and grasp the concept like that. And I got tired of BS and papers. I got tired of writing 8 pages of papers when I wasn't even interested in the topic. I got tired of being pressured to spend so much money that I knew I wouldn't get back. And I was just tired of being uncertain of why I was truly there, but trying to buy into it, but it just didn't feel natural to me. Even when I was a peer educator or even when I was just hanging out with other people, I didn't even really hang out with other people. I didn't go to campus parties. When I was at Frostburg, I went to off-campus parties, but that's just because I never had alcohol before. I never really bought into any part of the college experience. And it wasn't until I stopped going that I realized what it should have been about and that I could have done a lot of different things to help me get through it. Even if it wasn't something that I saw value in the way that it was instilled in me, I still could have made something of it. For example, I feel like a lot of families who have first-time college attendees, they are just so proud that they made it, that they just shove them in there and just say, don't embarrass us, make us proud. And all the pressure from that can distract you. Also, they don't really tell you about networking. You know, if you happen to want to be popular, or you just happen to want to run for office, or you want to join a sorority or fraternity or a club, you might happen to stumble upon it and not know it's called networking, but other people go there knowing to network. They know, okay, if I go to this sorority fraternity, I can get these jobs. And a lot of people I know that too, but that's all they know. They don't really know what it means to network outside of your fraternity or sorority. They don't know what it means to network outside of just trying to get internships, how valuable it is to stay in contact with a lot of people that you met at school, because you don't know what they're going to turn out to be. And I also didn't realize how college is really literally supposed to be an experience. You don't have to be perfect. You can sleep with whoever you want. You can drink as long as, You're not harming yourself. And some of the people that we thought were going to be the biggest losers because they were sleeping around and drinking, they're good people. Why? Because they expressed themselves and they figured out who they were along the process. Instead of trying to be someone, trying to be prestigious, trying to be this, that, and the third, they just really fucked up a lot. And then by the time they graduated, they got it together because they tried everything. Rather than trying to put on this facade or impress their family or be, so distinguished that they couldn't even figure out who they were when they were away from home. I brought home with me, so it didn't work. I thought I was doing something going to school 3.5 hours away, but I literally brought all my trouble from home to school, and it failed. And then even when I was going to school locally, I still took all my burdens from home with me to class, with me to the library. I wasn't being social, so I wasn't networking. I stumbled upon some people along the way, but I could have met hundreds of thousands of more people that I would still talk to right now, but I don't because I never knew them. I didn't go to the parties with them. I just had class with them. They never got to know me. I didn't get to know them. I ended up okay in the long run because you just still figure it out, but I feel like more people, if they really, really knew what the college experience was like, if they really were aware it was a business, they would know how to navigate a lot better and they would get more out of it, even if they really don't care about the piece of paper. If you really knew, and of course we don't listen as kids, we do what we want, but if you really knew, all you have to do is get good grades. They'll give you stipends, you can get grants and scholarships, full rides for everything, you can get paid internships, you can do study abroad. If you just really knew what the potential was outside of you gotta do it because everyone before you did it and don't embarrass us, or you gotta get a good job, we could probably breathe a lot better and we'll probably excel a lot more. My brother right now is not even able to enjoy the fact that he's about to embark on his senior year of his collegiate journey because he's so stressed, because he doesn't want to take the normal route. He wants to be an artist and he doesn't even want to work, but he knows that he has to do that, and that alone scares the shit out of him. It scares him that he doesn't have a plan and that everyone wants him to have a plan. It scares him that everyone wants him to do something other than what he wants to do. That's how he feels. And it's just really crazy that you go through 4 years of your life, some people, and that's your whole experience. You never even really get to maneuver the business. You never get to learn the business. Even if you look at the model of the way college is built, that's how literally every business is formed. The same thing. And if you know it's a business, you're not going to put so much of your heart into it and pressure, and you can literally experience it for what the fuck it is. An experience. You're supposed to fuck around, you're supposed to dibble and dabble, figure out who you are, figure out what your style is, make friends, break hearts, have your little heart broken, eat trash food, get fat, then get skinny, then get buff, play all the sports, meet all the people, join a million clubs and never commit to any. That's what you're supposed to do. But if you go there with poverty already in mind and you don't want to go back to poverty, if you go there with pressure, how can you function? You're still in survival mode. The process of getting along was bamboozled. It was just straight up bamboozlement. Like, I remember I was going to class thinking stuff was straight already, and then I had a hold on my schedule. They threatened to drop my schedule. At Frostburg, they threatened to drop my schedule like probably within the first month of classes, if that. So I went to financial aid and I was intimidated because no one there looks like me. I don't know what I'm doing, and I feel pressure to just sign a paper. It's like either you go home or you sign this paper so you can get this loan. And they explain to you what subsidized and unsubsidized loans are, but all I hear is if I go home, I ain't going home. So I'm gonna sign this paper. And what started off as maybe $5,000 turned into like $25,000 just because of interest. A $5,000 loan with interest became $25,000. If I would have understood the ramifications of taking out an unsubsidized loan, I still would have done it, because the fear of going home and being a failure or not doing what everyone expected of me or not being good enough without having that piece of paper, I wouldn't have made it. And one might say, well, why won't you just transfer to a different school? Or no, I went to school 3.5 hours away because I did not want to be in Baltimore. I did not want to be around my surroundings. I didn't want to keep seeing only black people. I wanted something different. Yes, it was cold, but it was very different. If I did not have the pressure of being in school, I would not have signed that paper. Point blank, period. Because unsubsidized loans are the devil. Like, as soon as you sign that paper, interest is building. As soon as they hear that you're not in school, that interest is building. And if you don't get a forbearance or something, your credit is shot. And to my understanding, school loans are the only ones that can't come off of your credit, period. You gotta pay them. There ain't no way around it. $450, $1,000 ain't gonna save you. A high school senior that has the ability to go but doesn't want to go to college, I would tell them to know the rules and to play the game if it makes sense. If you don't want to go, know why you don't want to go. Don't just say you don't want to go because you're being lazy, because college can be a very fulfilling, exhilarating, exciting, positive experience. I just wasn't equipped with what I needed. I didn't want to go, and I didn't even know I didn't want to go, because why? I was trained since I was in elementary school that that's where I was going. Not, I think it's a good idea. No, I was told, oh, you're going to college. So it's like, oh shit, I'm going to college. And then after a while, I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to college. And you niggas that's not going to college? No. So a high schooler that doesn't want to go, have a plan. If you don't want to go to college, what do you want to do? Figure out what you want to do, and then pursue that shit fervently. Does it need certifications? Do you want to go to trade school? How long does it take? How much does it cost? If you're in high school and you really do not want to go to college, just link up with people who know what they're doing and know what you're doing already, and you can supplement with certification courses, or you can just take general courses. You gotta have something though. You can't just say I ain't going. Like, you gotta have something. Some kind of course. Do you want to start a business? Learn about it. But before you say no, see what it's like. Ask people that have already been. See what the benefits are and weigh your options. Because if you know what you're doing, you can finesse. Oh, you can finesse. I know people that got paid to go to school, paid to study abroad, paid to do internships. I know people that have been skating the whole way. I know people that have graduated with no debt. And I'm talking about got doctorates with no debt. It's possible. But if you don't know the rules, you cannot play the game. And unfortunately, a lot of us are being shoved into this game with no rules. It's like playing Monopoly and thinking you're gonna win, but you don't know what you're doing. Whoever knows is gonna get Park Avenue, they're gonna get all the utilities, and your ass gonna be sitting there with one little house on a property that nobody ever lands on. That's college, when you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're just losing and broke. And you don't collect $200 at the go, because you gotta give it to the bank 2 properties later, because you landed on somebody else's property. Whew. College. I feel like in 20 years, college will not be needed, so they're just gonna find a new way to weave it into society. There's so many people becoming entrepreneurs and seeing less value in it that it might not be around. But as long as they keep up with the times, like digitizing it, I think it'll still be around for like older people who still see value in it. College, on the surface, definitely prepares you to be a good employee. It prepares you to follow a structured system to get an end result. That's what happens at jobs. You have a bunch of people giving input, and then at the end you have an output. Now, if your parents prepare you properly and expose you to entrepreneurship and show you the correlation between entrepreneurship and college, and you go with the mindset to be at the top of the pyramid, then you can very well have the college experience and leave with everything you need to be an entrepreneur. Now, a lot of people I know, they mistakenly get business degrees and think that they're doing something. Most entrepreneurs don't have business degrees. That's what they do. They hire other motherfuckers with business degrees to sit and type at the computer. College is a business. So if you come with a business mindset, you can see the business model in college, and you can take that and actually apply that to your business. But if you're just going because you want to get a better job, you want to get a good job, then you're going to just follow the system like it's designed to do. You're going to give money, you're going to get prestige, you're going to get a nice graduation party, and then when all the balloons pop, you're going to rush into the rat race like everyone else. But if your parents teach you about entrepreneurship and teach you how you can use the piece of paper to network with people while you're there, and have those people that you network with work for you, you can leverage yourself. Oh, you changed the game. that's when you fucking shit up. That's when you completely remove yourself from the system that it's supposed to be and you use it to your benefit. But most of us don't think like that because our parents didn't think like that. These are our grandparents. We just went and did it for prestige. And another problem with like black kids going to college is there's really no legacy. Like the parents might have gone, but a lot of black people that I know, not everybody, a lot of black people I know, they don't go to the same school for generations to create a legacy at a school. They don't donate amounts to the school. They go back for the homecoming and they look cute with their alumni gear. They just sell out the bookstore. They do it when they go in the yard and see, you know, the newbies or whatever you call them, stepping and launching and shit, but that's it. It's all for show. There's not a lot of people that I know that have a legacy where John the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth all went to the same college. They have prestige on the campus. Their family donates to the campus. They're known. They have a way. We're all starting over or going to whatever school is cute, or we might be the second, maybe the third generation, but it's still not that culture that other cultures have. Like, oh yeah, my father donates to this school, so I can sleep with the professor if I want to. I can drop out and come back and it's good. We don't have that. We don't have that because we don't come to the table with the same mindset. I am not bashing college, but we gotta be prepared for what we're doing. You cannot successfully play or win the game if you do not know the rules. And going there thinking you knowing your major is not knowing the rules. Thinking you just graduated with a scholarship and you got the major and you might get a good job, that's not even knowing the rules. That's not knowing the rules. You gotta really know the ins and outs of what you're doing. Especially if you come out with loans. You lost the game. You just another peg in the board. Now, if you still don't know the rules, but you happen to get out debt free and you get your job and you do your thing, it's possible and I salute you. But it's not enough of us knowing how to play the game. We just out here throwing dice and hoping that we get 7-Eleven. As a culture, to prepare the kids for what college may or may not be, well, not the kids, but the up-and-coming seniors in high school, we need to talk. It doesn't have to be a special center or place, but we literally need to talk, which our culture does not like to do. We need to share information. We have a few good alumni that might come to school and talk to them, but it's not enough of us giving all sides. A lot of alumni come to the school and just go on and on about how great college is and how you can, you can fuck girls and, you can become whoever you want and you can spend your refund check on a car, or how you can join a fraternity and then get a good job afterwards, but it's never really a full-on display of what actually happens. As far as I know, if you come to the school and try to tell them college ain't the way, you might not really get let in or allowed to speak to the kids unless you're saying, okay, well, let's go to trade school. They don't really allow you to tell them the bad stuff about it because they don't want to discourage them because they already feel like kids don't want to go to college. These kids are waking up and seeing how worthless it can be, especially because they have access to Instagram where they can become an Instagram model or they can become a whole stranger and make money. They're living in a world where they have everything at their hands and they're not really seeing the value in college. So schools who still are college preparatory aren't really trying to let you see the other sides. So it's our responsibility to mentor these kids, use our platforms to show them all sides of it, and not to discourage them from going, but to arm them with education. If you tell them what an unsubsidized loan is, they might pick them grades up so they don't have to get a loan at all, or they might do what they can so that if they do have to take out a loan, they can take out a subsidized loan, because your grades ironically determine what kind of loans you can take out too. Your parents' income determine what kind of loans you can take out, if you can take out any. It's all kinds of factors that we don't know. We just go up in there hoping for the best, and that's not good enough. I don't know, just educate the kids, like the difference between staying on campus, not staying on campus, loans, unsubsidized loans, Parent Plus loans, scholarships, grants, internships, fellowships, stipends, the pros and cons of sororities and fraternities, and joining clubs, and we don't even know simple stuff like talking to the professor. Like, we get intimidated by professors, but my parents always told me, you need to talk to that professor, make that professor your friend, because when you need an extension, guess what? You get one. I can tell you right now, I done bullshitted. I done got extensions out the ass for nothing. And I didn't have to lie and say nobody died. It is all because It's networking. Network with your professors. Network with your friends. Network with everybody. Like, I can't emphasize enough. Network. Don't spend no money. Network. And if you do get a refund check, you need to figure out what you're doing with it. Don't spend it on kicks, because you still gotta pay that loan back. Don't get a credit card unless you know what you're doing, which you probably don't, so don't get a credit card. Even stuff as small as like class size, that matters. If you know you need special attention, don't go to University of Maryland College Park where they got like 700 kids in a lecture class. That doesn't work for you. People don't even talk about stuff as simple as that. Class size matters. If you need special attention, don't go to a big school. You need to look at your school stats. Don't go because it's a good school. Look at the ratio of women to males. Look at the ratio of races. Look at the diversity. Look at how many minorities are even let into the school. Look at how many minorities play sports. Look at the weather. Like, all this stuff matters. How can you concentrate if you don't like cold weather? How can you concentrate if 75 people over here talking and the rest of the 300 down there and they can hear and you can't hear? And mental health. Oh my God. Mental health. Go to the counselor. It is okay. Smoke weed. It is okay. Like, do what it takes to get through the experience. Know what you're doing and have a plan. Do not just go because your parents told you. I don't care what people say. Parents want to comment on this. Comment on the parents, because y'all fucked up too. Because y'all just went to school because somebody told you to. And you in a career 20 years deep and you decided today you don't want to be there. Don't do that to your kids. Don't usher your kids into a place they don't want to be with information that is not helpful to them. Don't make them choose a career that's lucrative. Choose something that you want to do, because at least if you're poor, you're happy. I know somebody who was an attorney and she went to law school and got the bills to show, and she does not practice law at all right now. She's an entrepreneur. Does nothing with a law degree, but got the law degree bills. So stop that BS. Stop going for lucrative careers. Go for the career that you love. Give yourself time. If you don't know what you want to do, do general studies. Don't switch majors 75 times. Get a minor in another language. Use college. Look at the bill too. We pay for stuff we don't know what we're paying for. They have miscellaneous things on the bill that we pay for and don't even use, like Wi-Fi or special buildings or swimming classes. And don't just take up stuff for your major. Like, take up piano classes, learn another language, take up pottery. Do some shit that has something to do with your major so that you can get a full experience, and study the fuck abroad. You don't have to just be the upper echelon or the smartest kid in school to study abroad. Get just enough to study abroad. It will change your life. Max out in college. Don't just go because you have to. Don't just go because you're told. Don't just go because you think it's going to make you smart or get you a good job. Because for a lot of people, college is not for them. Don't waste your money or your time or your youth. Because the stuff that I'm doing right now, if I would have started when I was a little pup at 18, I would be a billionaire if I put all the energy that I have now in when I was a baby in the game. I'm catching up now. Alright, I'm done. I don't have nothing else to say. They might come out for my ass, flag my video. Are you coaching the Are you giving them the scoop? Who the hell are you?